My name is Shirley. How are you doing today?
Fine. How about you?
Oh, I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Now, I understand that you wanted to talk to me about something today. Tell me what's going on. What can I help you with? How's everything?
Well, I'm feeling a little anxious. I'm a 56-year-old mother, divorced, unemployed. I have two grown kids,
Okay.
and I'm living with my mom in a small town in East Texas.
Okay.
And my problem is my granddaughter would love to come spend the summer with me, but I can't afford to have her. And I had to tell her no, and it's just working me. It's just bothering me so bad that I just need someone to help me with figuring out how I can get better so I can have her to visit me next summer.
Well, and I know as a grandmother, I know it must be hard for you to be able to say. Sometimes it's hard to say no to your grandkids and to your real kids. But what is it that's bothering you that you feel like you wouldn't be able to allow her to come this summer?
Because, as I said, I'm 56, living with my parents, with my mom,
Okay.
and my two siblings there. And I'm depressed most of the time. And I don't have the motivation to get up and to do anything.
Okay.
And I don't want her to see me like this. I want to get better, so I don't want her to feel like she can't come see me because I'm sick. And I want her to be able to just come see me because she's my granddaughter.
Okay. Is this something that this difficulty that you're having now that you're dealing with, that this just recently happened, or is this something that you've been dealing with for some time, or?
I have been dealing with this depression for years, a number of years.
Okay.
And instead of getting better, I feel like I'm just getting worse. And now I want to get better because my granddaughter wants to come see me. And she lives out of state, and I want her to come see me.
Okay.
But I don't want her to see me depressed and dazed where I don't want to get out of bed.
Okay.
And I don't want it to affect her. And so I want to try to get better.
Okay. What caused the change in the depression? What caused it? You say you're getting worse. What caused it? You've been depressed for some time, but
my divorce and then the passing of my father.
Okay.
And I think that it all happened at one time, and I felt like my husband let me down because I felt like he should have been there for the raising of our kids, for the support of me losing my father, and knowing that I was a housewife and I had no job skills, and he left me with two kids trying to go out and find a job, and it just working two part-time jobs, it stressed me out. It just kind of took over my life.
Okay. So, am I understanding right? You say your father died and you were divorced, and this happened around the same time?
Yes.
Had you ever worked anywhere outside of the home before you were divorced?
No. That was what the plan was for my husband and I. He would be the caretaker like my dad was.
Okay.
And I would be home, raise the kids, be there when they needed me and for him.
Okay.
And he just didn't put an effort in it. And so it just kind of it hit me by storm because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting us to be together like my parents were, as him taking care of us. And it just kind of didn't work out that way. And so it's just kind of hard to let go of.
Okay. So family is very important to you.
Yes.
And the way you were, what you were expecting is you were used to you saw your father work all these years and take care of your family. Did your mother ever work outside the home?
No. She stayed home and she took care of the house, and Dad took care of the financial part of it. And he just was the caretaker. He did all of that. He made sure you needed.
Okay. And so in a way, that's sort of what you were used to. So that's what you were expecting from your husband. You were expecting to be able to stay home and take care of the kids and take care of the household, and then he was the one to go outside and do the working. So once your father passed, and then your husband, you were divorced, so you had to go outside and work. How long did you work outside of the home after that?
I worked several years, and I worked two part-time jobs.
Okay.
And working two part-time jobs was even worse because when the kids get sick, you have to leave, and You have to be there when they get home from school. You want to help them with their homework. You want to tuck them in at nighttime. And it was hard to find babysitters. It was hard to find a job that let you, without letting you go when your child, excuse me, when your baby gets sick and you need to go home.
Okay.
And just trying to pay the bills and trying to survive with 2 kids and daycare and trying to just be there. And it just got to be so overwhelming that I just couldn't do it anymore. I just got where I didn't want to get up.
Okay. What were the biggest obstacles that you were running, that you were incurring while you were looking for a job? What did you have to overcome? What were the biggest things you had to overcome in looking for a job?
Well, I felt like there were better jobs out there, but I felt like being an African American, I wasn't given the opportunity back then as I should have been.
Okay.
And I just felt like they look at me and say, you can't do this, or never gave me the chance because I didn't have the skills. But had they gave me the on-hand training, that I needed, I felt like I would have been better.
Okay.
And also I felt like my doctor dropped the ball and the counseling.
Okay.
And I felt like they didn't help me like they should have, because I felt like the doctor should have gave me a short-term medicine and then we worked it out from there. And instead of a long-term, it's where I've been in and out of hospitals and just,
Okay.
I think I'm taking more medication now than I was before. And I don't see me getting any better. And then I felt like the second thing, my counselor should have been, as I told her what my problem was, she should have addressed me as an individual, not looking at me as African American or a woman, that's just down because her husband left her and she has to take care of 2 kids. I explained that, and I felt like she should have maybe counseled me a little bit more on that, helped me get back out into society and finding a job and just being there.
Okay.
And not just sweeping me under the rug. And I've got lost in the system. I'm so used to being on it. It's easy to get on, and it's hard to get off because it's a security blanket.
Okay. So you feel like you were oppressed in several different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like that you didn't have the job skills that you needed because you had been working at home. You were a homemaker.
Mm-hmm.
You were taking care of your family at home. And you were taking care of your family at home because culturally, this is the way that you were raised up, where the man took care, worked outside, and the woman took care of the household.
Yes.
But after you were divorced, once you were divorced, and you went outside to get off into the workforce, you did not have the skills. You didn't have the skills simply because you had the skills, but nobody was looking at the skills that you were using, because it's not easy, to run a household and take care of kids.
Right.
But you feel like you were oppressed a second time because no one would give you the opportunity to invest in you to get your skills up to where you could get a job.
Right.
So you feel like you've been oppressed as a woman, you've been oppressed racially, and then by your doctor, instead of your doctor, he was looking at you and just giving you medication. So that didn't help either toward you getting in the workforce. In fact, you're saying you feel like it's making you worse.
Yes.
So what do you think when you describe yourself? How do you describe yourself as a divorced African American woman? How would you describe yourself?
As a divorced 56-year-old African American woman with
Okay.
2 grown kids, a beautiful granddaughter,
Okay.
living with my mother and 2 sibling brothers. And that is just one thing that I don't want to be at. My mother's up in age. We should be helping her instead of her trying to help us.
Okay.
But she's doing what she knows, and that's family, taking care of family. And that's a big part of our life. But that's why I want to be able to get better, get a job, get on my own, and have my granddaughter to visit me.
Okay, so you feel like everything, the way you describe yourself, you feel like this all played a part into the situation that you're in right now.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think you could do differently? What are your goals for coming to counseling? What would you like to see done differently?
I'd like to see getting off of some of the antidepressant, getting off of,
Okay.
actually not some of it, all of it.
Okay.
And I'm going to I want to look for a new counselor because I want someone that look at me as an individual, not as an African American lady that's on depression pills and can't motivate, is not motivated to get up and do better. I don't want to live on the system forever. I want to be able to get off of it and afford to pay my own medical bills and will have benefits on a job that can pay my medical bill and get my medicine and take care of myself so I can better take care of my mom and my granddaughter.
Okay, do you feel that the counselor that you'd gone to, if that counselor had looked at you as an individual, had looked at you and had thought about, the way that you view your family, as the man taking care of the family, do you think if he had looked at it from that aspect, that he could have seen something different? He would have found a different way maybe to help you instead of just describing antidepressant pills?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you think your views on the family, it plays in your views on the family, your views on the way you're treated as because you're African American, that plays a big part in what you're feeling right now. You feel like that your family let you down, you feel like society let you down, so you feeling like that you need help. Or how do you really feel about women working outside of the home now?
Well, I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like it would be better. It's better now than back then because I think they looked at it as if you should be at home.
Okay.
And now, where everything is changing, I feel like if I have just that one person that can believe in me and help me get out there and figure out how to get those job skills that I need and get back in society, I think it'll be better for me.
Okay. Do you feel like you're have you been able to forgive your husband, your ex-husband? Have you been able to forgive him?
No.
And been able to forgive your father too? It seems like you feel like your father let you down because he's no longer around.
Right.
But have you been able? You feel like if you could forgive them, is that causing some of the pressure too? Not being able to forgive them, you think?
And it might, but the husband, I'm not ready to forgive yet, and I need to work on that. I got to do a little bit more working on that.
Okay.
I know it's been years, but I felt like he took away from my kids. And I felt like he didn't give the effort that he should have. And with my dad, I can forgive him because he did what he was supposed to do.
Okay.
And
how does your husband feel? You're not forgiving him? Has that altered his life or bothered him?
Not one bit.
Okay.
He's just going on like nothing.
Okay. Okay, and we've had a very good session today, Kim. And just for a little homework next week, I want you to think about you saying you're ready to go off into the workforce. You're ready to look at some job skills, and you're ready now to look at being, that it's okay, even though your mother's never worked, it's okay for you to go out and work. But I want you to just think of some job skills that you would be interested in doing. And I want you to also just, think about forgiving your husband. Think of your ex-husband. Think about forgiving him. And, if you think about it and you release that, see what pressure that is taken off of you, how that's going to release some of the pressure. Do you think you'll be able to do that for me next week?
Work on the list, I sure can.
Okay. And think about also, I want you to think about also, letting go of your husband, of any your thought. You don't want that to control your thoughts all day. You want to be able to focus on getting job, focus on working on you, focus on something that's going to be productive.
Okay.
Okay. And so we've had a very good session, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you'll come back next week at the same time at 11 o'clock, and I look forward to seeing you then.
And I sure appreciate it. Where were you at 20 years ago, ma'am?
Okay. Well, we're here now. We're just going to take it from now on, and we're just going to move forward. We're not going to dwell on the past. We're just going to move forward.
Thank you.
You have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.